Here's Hardy. Hardy. Back to Daniels. Dyson Daniels. The bottom.
Mike Schmitz of ESPN. We're here with Dyson Daniels out in Melbourne. You're out here training, getting ready for kind of this next phase of your career. So what are the main focus? Obviously, you've played a ton of games. NBA teams are familiar with you now, but as you go into this next phase, like what are some of the things you're attacking, like as a player?
Yeah, so I think with my jump shot, I think I've got my mechanics right now. It's just about speeding it up. So just a lot of shots every day, on the shooting machine, with coaches and stuff, and just speeding up the shot, and as well as putting on some size. I'm trying to get in the gym, put on some size, and those are the main two focuses. But then it's going to be like counter moves off like ball, off on balls and stuff like that, and just being able to I got my floater, but being able to add the mid range pull up to my game.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the main two is putting on some size and speeding up my release.
Yeah, you mentioned the size. So seeing you at the Rising Stars, I was like, okay, I see you with your teammates, but seeing you next to Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, guys like that, I mean, you could tell like you've really grown.
Yeah.
Where are you at now physically?
So right now I'm 6'7", no shoes.
Okay.
So I think I grew like an inch, since the start of the Ignite season, and I think I'm close to 6'8" now. So
yeah.
It's good to put on some size, but mainly just putting on strength in the gym. If I'm going to be in the NBA, it's going to be a lot more physical. So being able to deal with the physicality and guard bigger people. So I think I have the body to really put on some size, and so that's what I'm trying to do, just get in the gym every day.
Yeah, no question. So all right, we're going to break down some of your film here from the season. We got about 4.5 minutes, offense, defense, but I want to start on the defensive end because I think this is where initially you can add value right away, right? Guarding multiple positions. How many positions now with your size do you think you can realistically guard at the next level?
I think I can definitely guard 4, and I think personally for me, I think I'm a pretty good post defender as well. So I wouldn't say I'm going to go out there and guard a Joel Embiid, but just being able to like hold post players, hold my spot there, and at least hold it for 4 or 5 seconds until help comes. But I think 1 to 4 is definitely realistic for me to guard, and being my size, I think it only helps to be 6'7" and guard four positions. So.
Yeah, I saw the same on film, and it's guarding the perimeter too, right? So we'll show you a little bit, guarding away from the rim here. So what are you looking at in the offensive player? I think who is that, Maladon?
Yeah.
That allows you to kind of read his moves.
Yeah, I think for me it's all about the scout. Knowing what players like to do, and I scouted Maladon before the game, and knowing he likes to go right. I knew that after he put up that hezzy, he's going to go right. So I think once you get that first chest blow, it's a lot easier to play defense because the counters are usually off the first chest blow, and if you're able to keep them in front and slow down their pace, I think that's where I really thrive.
Yeah, perfect. Chest blow, I like that. Is that an Aussie term?
I guess.
It's a Dyson Daniels term. Yeah. So there against Maladon, and then here against another guard. He's going to reject the screen here. Kind of similar deal, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I know a lot of these guys in the G League like to reject screens, so you got to make sure you make them use it. And I think just using my length, be vertical and get a tip on the ball is something that I'm good at.
The wingspan now?
6'11".
6'11".
6'11".
Okay. Yeah, so definitely have the size and strength to guard, like you said, 4 positions. And okay, some guys, whether it's a big or a small, try to take you down in the post. You feel comfortable in these situations, right?
Yeah, definitely. So especially guarding a smaller play, I'd like for them to take me down there because that's where I can use my size and length, and just stay vertical. And I think with the physicality that I have, I'm able to contest these shots and get a few blocks in there as well.
So this was impressive because that's Kuminga, right? Jonathan Kuminga. So I mean he's playing like even some 5 right now. For the I know it's the Warriors, but I think one of the biggest things that stood out to people is like, man, this guy's huge.
Yeah.
Once he's gotten to the NBA, and you're right there with him. What's your goal here in this situation? You're trying to 3-quarter fight around, or?
Yeah, I think 3-quarter. Guarding Kuminga, he's really good in the post. With his first steps. So for me, it's just 3-quarter in that, and probably was the best pass. But for me, I got a good defensive instinct. So just being able to get a hand in there and pick it off and go the other way with it.
And I think a big part of that is your ability to guard pick and roll. That's one of the things that I've been impressed with is like. Especially watching you out in Vegas, is like getting over the top, getting back in front, squaring up the ball, all those little things. So this was one of your most impressive possessions of the year, I thought, just because it's multiple efforts. Take me through this play.
Yeah, so this is down, it was a pretty good screen. He got me on that. And, I think it's just the effort to, be able to get back in front. Amir was able to hold him up, and then for me to, just get back in front, use my length, and, get the block.
And then saving it too, the hockey assist, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of young players, especially, sometimes it's just, all right, let me try to get through. Now I'm back in front. My hands are down. I'm just kind of relaxed. But you're fully vertical, using your length. I guess, who taught you your defensive fundamentals?
I think it's always been, my instincts, but, definitely at the academy, the big focus was defense. But, for the body that I have, like I said, just being able to, be vertical, contest shots, and, he's picked up the ball here, so he can't dribble anymore. So knowing that, he's only going to pass it, and, that's a tough position to shoot it from, being able to jump, just get deflection. I think it's just defensive instincts that I've had.
And then not giving up on these plays as well. So here you're going to go under the handoff, fight over the rescreen, and then these rear view contests, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So being a guy who can navigate over, under, all those things. Okay, so what about staying attached to shooters?
Yeah, so Carson Edwards is a shooter. Probably could have been in his body a little bit more, but, just fighting over, getting back in front. And, I think, from there on wide pin down, it's more about effort than, anything. And, for me, it's, like I like when I guard shooters because, I think for me being able to get into them, be physical with that, they don't really like that. And, I think from there it's just about, being physical, getting over the screen and getting back in front.
And are you just reading his eyes?
Yeah, so
what are you looking at?
I can see that, Mike's up a bit and, he's throwing a lot early that he's going to be wide open. So the pass is going to be wide open for me. It's just knowing that, he's going to throw it, and the defensive instincts I have, I think, help me there.
Yeah, that's a big time play right there. And then just to show a handful of chase down blocks this year, huh?
Yeah, I think that, that was something I was pretty good at. Being able to protect the rim and, stay vertical and not foul. I think that was something I was pretty good at this year.
Yeah, that's a big time block. Great instincts, good timing, and then with the left too.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I like this too because 3-on-1, right? And I think you turn this over, right?
Yeah.
I guess you got to make up for it, right?
Exactly. So you got to make a play at the rim.
Yeah, I mean, and those are winning plays. That I think a coach will feel comfortable playing you, knowing that you're not going to give up on plays like this, and you have the ability to change shots at the rim as well at your size. Where do you think this is most valuable? Like these are transition situations, but do you think you can be like an impactful help defender in the NBA?
I feel like I can. I feel like I can come across from weak side and if it's not a block, at least contest the shot. And I think for me, I'm a 2-foot jumper, so being able to jump off 2, stay vertical, and physical at the rim is something I've been good at. And I think for me, it's just not being afraid to be dunked on. If you're gonna go up there, I'm gonna go up there. So if you're not going up there with 100% effort to dunk on me, then I'm gonna get it. So.
All right, so offensively, right? So that's the defensive side of the ball, guarding 4 different positions, being impactful off the ball. Your anticipation, quick feet, quick hands, all those things. And then offensively, I was impressed with just some of these quick hit-aheads too. Has this always been a part of your game?
Yeah, I think rebounding's always been a part of my game, and knowing like the last 10 games, the coaches wanted me to rebound because they want me to push in transition and be the ball handling transition because I feel like that's where I thrive. Being able to make decisions, and for me, I was attacking the glass, and whenever I'm able to get a rebound, we got people who can get out like Scoot, Marjan, Jaden. They're all great in transition. So just being able to get the ball, get it off early, and get us an advantage. I feel like that's what I was really good at this year.
Yeah, and rebounding definitely one of your best skills. And then so at this point, you're already eye contact here.
Yeah. So a lot of the times I just have a feel for the game and know who's on the floor with me and know who's going to be out. And for Scoot, he's one of the best transition players in this league. So just being able to get him to the ball and get him in a position where that's his strength. I think for me, there's a no-brainer that he was going to be there.
And that's a big part of what we're showing here is like, okay, you can play on the ball, you can play off the ball, you can offensive rebound, you can be a cutter, you can be a ball mover, spot shooter, a pick and right. You don't really have a lot of like true weaknesses in your game, right?
Exactly.
And so I think a lot of that starts with, like you said, being able to play with multiple guards, especially at your size. So you mentioned your shooting. This is as confident of a stroke as we saw from you probably this year, right? Like sliding with the ball, good shot preparation, great balance, stepping into it. When you're shooting the ball well, what are the things that you're doing? And I think like where are you at with your shooting right now?
Yeah, I think it's just for me it's all confidence, and the last 10 games I think I was able to shoot up like close to 45% from 3. So it's not second guessing, knowing that I put in the work. I shoot 500 of these a day with the coach. So just knowing that I've put in the work, this is the shot they want me to take, and I think this was the last game when I was already shooting the ball well, so that was always going to go up, and I think it was a crucial 3 in the game.
Yeah, and even this, like off of this action too, right? Not always just standing in the corner from 3. So what is this play?
So this is called auto flare. So it's a flare screen. He's always going to slip that, and we got this a few times this year. Where the defenders got messed up and they went with the cutter, and I think I got a few threes out of this action this year. So for me, it's about speeding up the release now, because you can see it's a bit slow, but I think the mechanics are there, and confidence is there now. It's just about speeding it up.
Definitely, like you said, shot the ball at a really high level toward the end of the year, and then they're going to start closing out harder, right? And then you can get downhill. So this was, I know we talked about 1-2 foot jumping before, but this is the right leg lefty hammer, right?
No, I think one thing that I noticed in myself is that I can jump off either leg. I can jump off right leg, left leg. Both 2 feet. So I think that's a strength in itself as well. So I think the lane opened up for me here, and it was no brainer to go up with the left.
So, all right, we've seen the spot threes. We've seen attacking downhill to score, and then kind of semi-transition here too, right? So then now it's playing off of that. What's your read here, and what do you see in the defense?
Yeah, so this one, I seen him close out. He's one of it. He's not, he doesn't have the quickest lateral movement. So I was able to get baseline. He did a good job, pushing me under the basket. And for me, it's just seeing the floor, knowing where my teammates are, and it's probably best to come to a 2 foot stop there, but just knowing that I have my teammate there and able to find him.
No, I love that. Being able to pass it on the move, and there are times when you could jump stop and kick out, but the NBA is so fast.
Exactly.
And
you got to be able to play it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Passing off right hand, left foot, right foot, all different goofy angles, and that's a great pass to Marjan. So being able to score without needing a ton of dribbles, being able to create without needing a ton of dribbles, I think is huge, and you fit that. And then the cutting as well. So really good cutter, really active, really aware. What do you see in the defense here?
Well, I know Pujetta, who has the ball, he loves finding those little dump-off passes. So I think for me, when he's cutting, when he's driving there, and knowing that this guy turns his head, for me it's straight away cut.
Yeah. So 33 is kind of worried about. He's looking at Pooh, and he's worried about Scoot a little bit in the corner, maybe.
Yeah.
And you just read that, finish through contact.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of finishes like that during the year. And then, all right, this is where I'm really impressed as well. A few tip dunks, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you had, 5 or 6 at least?
I would have had a few this year, yeah, definitely. I think it's just reading the rim. I know that they weren't boxing out this game, so for me, it's a no-brainer to just to go to the rim.
Yeah, you can see Maladone doesn't check, right?
Yeah.
You crash hard, read it off the rim, 2 foot, 2 hands. And then, all right, so playing out of pick and roll. So we've seen you off ball. We've seen you can come in right away and play next to, any type of guard and have an impact. But you can also play on the ball as well. Do you see yourself, I've asked you this before, but do you see yourself as a point guard long term? How would you kind of describe the player you are?
I think I do see myself as a point guard long term, but I see myself as a versatile player that can go, if we've got a lot of point guards on the team, I can go play the 4. But I think the position that I thrive at is definitely the point guard. So, pick and roll is definitely something I'm working on. It's developing, but I think I've taken steps in it this year.
Yeah, no question. And I think a big part of it, like we've talked about in the past, is being able to punish these, right?
Yeah.
If he's just going to go under.
Exactly.
Did you feel them doing that to you this year too?
Yeah, we do. With the coaches, I worked on this a lot because at the start I wasn't shooting the ball well, so people started to go under. So these were the shots that I need to be able to take and make if I was going to play at the next level. What's
the biggest difference? And we saw you making some step backs and stuff as the year went on. What's the biggest difference mechanically, shooting off the dribble, off the catch?
Yeah, so for me it was my ball pickup. I think having my last dribble, being able to pound it into the floor and get it into my hands quick. That was what I was working on, and then being able to get it into my shot pocket. So I think here my second dribble was a bit harder. As soon as I know it's going under, then I'm going to shoot it. It's being able to get it into my hands. Have it in my hands in the right position to just be able to let it fly. And
that creates that rhythm, speeds it up, like you said, right?
Definitely.
And sometimes if they were going under, you're able to just race this too and get to the rim.
Yeah, so I can see the big guy's not in position. So if I can just get even with my guy and use my size at the rim, that's going to help me.
And so these are some of the finishes that I think you added as the year went on too. Like the first time we sat down, it was your FIBA film, but it was a lot of come to a 2 foot stop. We know your floater's elite, but Could you feel yourself diversifying your finishing?
Yeah, definitely. I think I got a few quirky finishes, that people don't expect, which helps me, like the right foot quick off the right hand.
Yep.
I've got the left foot quick off the left hand as well. So I think these finishes, help me, the defender, help me stay unpredictable on what I'm going to do going on the rim.
All right. So now, if they're fighting over
Yeah.
and they're in a drop, who is that? Taco fall?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to feel good about that
Yeah.
coming off, right?
Exactly.
So you feel comfortable pulling these like elbow floaters?
Yeah, definitely. I think the further out that I can use my floater, the more effective I am. So I think being in this area, having the defender on my back is a position that I love to be in.
Yep.
I have that floater, and if the big comes up, it's a simple dump off. If this guy helps in, it's a kick to the corner. So I think this is the position that I love to be in, and being able to add the mid-range pull up to my game is something I need to work on. But I think this is my main strength in my whole game is just being in this position, because I do have that floater. If the big, like I said, if the big commits, it's a dump off. If the corner helps, then it's a corner kick. So I love being in this position here with the defender, on my back.
So looking back at this one, anything you see here, anything you would have done differently?
Yeah, I definitely would have taken another dribble.
Mm-hmm.
I think this guy's in between me and playing Amir, and I think if I get downhill and he commits, then it's a dump off to Amir, and this guy's playing. I think it's number 11, playing 1v2 with Amir and Scoot at that point. So there's probably another dribble there just to assess my options, and but I think this would have been one of the early games. So like later in the season, I think I would have taken that second dribble.
Yeah, exactly. So showing the progress, of your game over the season, over the course of the season. But yeah, now it's kind of like mind games with this big, right? Kind of manipulating him.
For sure.
And so a lot of that probably too is getting more comfortable with your left hand, like you did over the course of the year. So you're saying take another dribble, and then it could be pocket pass to Amir if they help corner kick.
Yeah, and as well as knowing that I have Pooh here, and I know like whenever this defender's helped in too much, just easy kick to Pooh. He loves that quick shot. So
you could also just rip to the rim, right?
Definitely,
potentially.
Definitely, I think for me it's just at this point it's taking my time here and just assessing the options, and it could be a rip to the rim.
And so here's later on in the season, right? Just showing like not settling for just a deep floater or whatever it is, getting downhill, and then like you said, the creativity as a finisher. Take me through this play.
Yeah, so this one, defender's gone over. Luka Garza, he's a bigger guy. Not as good as moving his feet, maybe, but I think for
you put that nicely.
Yeah, but,
not the quickest guy.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, it's making him move laterally, and it probably could have been like maybe an up fake around, but I think for me, just having those quirky finishes that I'm able to use, and could have drawn a foul there, but I think that's just one of my strengths, just having those different finishes around the rim.
Okay, this isn't pick and roll, but just wanted to show the finishing from all different angles, all different feet. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to get a 2-for-1 here?
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1 here. So yeah, just knowing that that's a shot I like. Off right foot floater off the glass. So I think for me, it's just about decision making. When I'm able to get into that that key area, with my floater, it's about just making the right decision. I think with the 2-for-1, it was the right one to get the floater high off the glass. And
a big time finish. And so the spin 2-foot floaters, are we going to see a lot of that in the NBA?
We will. I'm trying to get rid of this, like not get rid of it, but I do use the spin a lot. So that's why I said it's trying to have different counters. But I did use the spin a lot this year, and it worked quite a few times. So I mean, I'm still going to have it, but it's about having other counters and stuff like that. But I think for me, when I'm able to get 2 feet in the paint, just spinning over my left shoulder, use my size.
That's a win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think we'll see it as well, and now it's about diversifying, like you said, which we've seen you do. So now the passing, some kind of basic reads here, but take me through this one.
Yeah, so this one, this is where I have my flow. This is where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
The big's committed, so it's just an easy dump off, to Amir for the layup.
And then if he's over at the midline,
then if Scoot was in the corner and he was over a bit more, it's a easy pass to Scoot in the corner as well.
Yeah, no, great pass. So then we see, all right, the ability to, hit the roller there. And then this is earlier in the year, but I like the pace and patience of this one. So what's going through your mind as you come off here? What are your progression?
Yeah, so I think, here, the floater's probably not the best option because, defense, hugging me tight. But, just assessing the options and, being able to, keep my dribble alive and, just letting the game unfold a little. And I think 2 people, when it Jaden, was it? Or, Mac McClung, hesitated here a little bit.
Yeah.
just seeing Kevin lifting, and I think for that, just keeping the dribble alive and letting the game unfold itself, and was able to kick out for the 3.
Yeah, that's perfect. And you see so many of the best guards, dating back to like Steve Nash, Tony Parker, Chris Paul, use that kind of like Gretzky dribble, right?
Yeah, I think that's one thing as well. I watch a lot of films to Steve Nash, who likes to dribble under the rim and like come back around. So being able to implement that in my game will be helpful as well. But like I said, just keeping my dribble alive, letting the game unfold itself, and making the right play.
Yeah, exactly. You're almost like holding it until they make a mistake, right?
Exactly.
And which they do there. Great kick out, easy hit for 3. So now, okay, they get into the ball a little bit, right? But showing the ability to, be patient, not be flustered, get them on your hip, and then what are you looking at here?
Yeah, so for me, it's, seeing that, Jesse's going to roll here, and this guy's, he's in too far. So for me, that's just a simple kick out to Pooh. He's a shooter, so I like to get my shooter shots.
So, all right, there you're hitting the wing shooter, right? And now, I know this is kind of a funky spacing on this one. Now the next level is probably if he's pulled over, being able to hit the corner,
exactly. Right? Yeah, I think this one was a terrible pass. Yeah.
But you get it there.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
It gets there. Just for me, it's probably keeping my dribble alive a bit longer, pulling it out.
Yeah.
There's probably nothing on here, and resetting. But seeing this guy, he's in a bit. I was probably lucky to get there, but got there. And
but you feel like you're someone who can, with the space floor and a hard rolling big, you can make that that pass.
Yeah, I think the left-hand hook pass is something I need to work on. But, being able to just quickly fire it over to the weak side like Giddy has in his game. It'll be very beneficial to me.
And lastly, kind of winding down here, like we talked about you guarding the post. You had a lot of success playing out of the post too.
Yeah.
Is that something you did at a young age, or?
It was a little bit at the academy actually. I worked on that a lot with Marty. Because I was a bigger guy. I've been a bigger guard for most of my career, so I think that's something that I've always had, and have my float if I'm able to get just inside the paint and rise up over someone.
Yeah. So not a lot of holes, like we said. In your game, being able to play, really all over the floor. I mean, how do you view kind of your projection to the next level? Like if you were sitting down with an NBA GM right now, and explaining to him like, hey, this is what I'm going to bring you, year 1, year 2. This is what I'm going to be long term. This is why you should pick me in the top 10. Like, what would you say?
I think that's the thing with me is versatile. I don't really have a weakness, so I think you can put me in the ball handling position, put me in a pick and roll and have me make plays, and for me it's the defensive end, being able to step on the floor and guard the best player, each night. And I think for me, I'm a winner. I love winning. I love the competitiveness of the sport. So I'm going to go out there and take whatever, do whatever it takes to get the team to win. And like I said, I'm pretty versatile. So I think I can play different positions and just be able to fit in with different teams and the different concepts they have. So for me, it's just having no weaknesses and being able to implement, like just being able to play with different players and on different teams. And like I said, being a versatile player, it always helps.
Well, Dyson, I think you have your film shows it. Your resume, whether it's with the junior national team or at the academy, until now, I think you have definitely a strong case for being one of the best players in the draft. So I appreciate you taking the time, man, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.